Welcome to the Sun Parlour Coffee House Sessions. I'm Jan Hall from Folk Roots Radio. Well, we're not in the Quantum Sound production studio in Kingsville today because we're in the midst of the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic. In fact, I'm actually in my own studio at Folk Roots Radio. But we're not going to let that stop us bringing you some great new music and conversation. And during these difficult times, we all need a bit of joy. So we're going to check in with two of the most positive people we know, Josh and Katie Pascoe from Cottam, Ontario, who make wonderful music together as Fresh Breath. And despite being stuck at home a lot more than they would like, they've been keeping themselves busy, writing some wonderful new songs and recording some great videos, like this one. This is Fresh Breath with Tomorrow Today, on a special COVID times edition of the Sun Parlour Coffee House Sessions. Enjoy.
I had this idea today. Everything I've got into being brave. Hop out of bed, put a smile on my face. It'll all be okay. I know it's scary and life can be hard, but let's get ready to fight for tomorrow, today, tomorrow. Tomorrow, today. Now everything's simple, but you can't just play it small. These things take courage and strength and beyond. But I am strong. I know it's scary and life can be hard, but let's get ready to fight for tomorrow, today. I know it's scary and life can be hard, but let's get ready to fight for tomorrow, today, tomorrow. Tomorrow, today.
That's Fresh Breath with Tomorrow Today, the first single that they actually put out this summer during the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic lockdown. It's my great pleasure to welcome to the Sun Parlour Coffee House Sessions today Josh and Katie Pascoe. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good.
Hi, Jan. Hi, nice to see you. We're doing well.
I got to say, I've absolutely loved the videos that you've been doing. It's been a great pleasure that, during these difficult times, I know a lot of people have been finding, lockdown hard and also readjusting to life after lockdown. It's actually been a bit of a fresh breath, but it's really been kind of nice to actually get some positive videos coming through. And I know, keeping a positive attitude is very important to you, but I don't know, it feels really good that you've made these videos. So I want to give you a chance just to talk about why you decided it was so important to stay busy during the lockdown.
We had a plan for 2020 to put out a bunch of new music and to tour a bunch. And then obviously the tour dates, there's nothing you could do about it. There's no option to tour. So we were left with a choice of whether we to just put out the music that we had and just to continue forward with all of the press that we could try and get for those songs and just really push it online into all those different media platforms. And so we did, because we're like, what else are we going to do? We don't want to just sit and let 2020 pass us by. And we feel best when we're making music and when we're producing videos and stuff like that. It's kind of like our happy place. Mm-hmm. So we just decided to just go through fully with what we had planned. And we ended up doing more than we had planned as far as releasing music. And it just seemed right just to go through with the plan. So
yeah, it definitely gave us something to work on and, something to do together at home. Luckily, we're together, kind of quarantined as a team, and we're here a lot together as it is. So this just gave us a nice time to kind of reset, reevaluate, and figure out what our next moves were.
So we started off with Tomorrow Today, and I think that was the first single you put out this summer. Beautiful song. It's got a lovely piano behind it. I know, Katie, you play the flute on that. One of the neat things about people putting out videos with their music is you actually learn all the other instruments they play, because I didn't realize that you also played flute. So that was really nice to be able to see that.
Thanks. Yeah, that song specifically was one that we wrote during quarantine at the beginning of the pandemic. It was something I think we wrote in March, and it released it May 1st. So it was earlier, before the next three singles that we had pre-planned and recorded already in 2019. So we kind of bumped that one ahead, and we dedicated it to the healthcare workers and essential workers. We felt like it was something that we needed to put out, and we really just wanted to share our message and our hope for everybody, and thought it would help to raise some spirits.
Yeah, we were watching all the briefings like everybody had been right in the very beginning. Nobody knew what was going on. It's all new for us. This hasn't happened in 100 years. So in every briefing, there's always an American Sign Language interpreter there. And so it kind of sparked the idea in my head, because my mom has a sister who's deaf. And so my mom knows American Sign Language. And so when we wanted to do the video, we're like, wouldn't it be cool if we had a sign language interpreter interpret all of the lyrics for the video? So if you're not watching this and you're listening to it, be sure to head over to our YouTube page, because that video's there. It features my mom. Katie and I are doing a performance piece, but it has my mom signing all of the lyrics in American Sign Language, which we thought was just a sign of the times, and it's just a good way to get the message across. And so that was it was a fun project for us too, because we recorded it all at home, and then we sent the tracks to Brett Humber at Sound Foundry, and he mixed and mastered everything. So it was like a completely separated thing. And even when we shot the video with my mom, it was like a very distanced, like we stayed 20 feet away from her at all times, because everybody, again, it was the beginning. So everybody was on edge.
Yeah. Luckily, we live on a farm. Like you said, we live in Cottam, and we have this huge barn, and we have all this ample space to kind of do these kind of projects, which is also a blessing. So we've been utilizing that as well.
Well, I got to say, I mentioned at the start, I think just your attitude is just kind of perfect for these times, which is why it's just been so nice that you've been, dropping these singles out. Now, I think you mentioned, Josh, at the beginning that putting the singles out was something that you really wanted to do this year. Because I know, with the way things have changed with, music becoming more about streaming and not so much necessarily about the physical product, although I really think everybody needs to buy the physical product to support the artists. It is actually kind of nice that, you also make your own videos. I think of the ones we're going to look at today, I think 3 of them were made yourselves, right? There is one I think you had some help with. Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of forced us to become we always had the capability, I guess, of making our own videos, and we had dabbled a little bit, but because we wanted to make sure we put the most professional front out that we could, doing everything ourselves, it really made us take the online tutorials of how to make proper videos and to utilize the softwares that we have. And it just really pushed our growth as to become the complete independent artist that we strive to be. And so that this whole pandemic thing, especially being locked up, it just made us utilize some skills we didn't even know that we had. So,
well, I got to say, those skills are coming along really, really well. And, one of the nice things is that you can make the single, make the video, and then send it out with a newsletter, which in some ways is a better way of doing it than just necessarily depending on social media to get the word out. Because you're really speaking to people who already love what you do. Now, what I'd like to do is go back and let's check out some more of the videos that you've made. The next song is Make It Together. Tell us a little bit about this one.
Yeah, this song was one of the first singles that we recorded back in late 2019. It's a song that we wrote together. I wrote the lyrics. Josh put together the instrumentation. And again, it's really pertinent to the times. It's all about, life being unpredictable and to really make sure that, you're living a life that you can be proud of and not have any regrets. And it's kind of a focus in on appreciating the little things in life and maybe not worrying so much about materialistic things, which I think is something that is always pertinent to the times if you think about it, right? But especially now that we're all taking this time to reflect on ourselves and what our lives look like. So this song was special to me. I really, really loved it once it came together in the studio, and Josh did all of the instrumentation on it in the studio too. So
yeah, it was fun. Like we said, Tomorrow Today got pushed ahead of all these other releases, but because we had all these 3 lined up to be released for this year, like I said. So Make It Together was something we were able to do fully in the studio. It came together with the drum track, just kind of with the way we attack songs, Brett and I will just kind of sit down and be like, okay, let's piece this together. And then the drum groove came together, and then the instrumentation all just followed that. It was just such a fun process. And again, Katie's lyrics are always so helpful and hopeful and positive. And we really like the way that it came together.
It's a great song.
The video Josh also made, and it's a time lapse of our backyard. So again, it was like early quarantine and spring was kind of around the corner, and we were playing around with little apps and stuff on our phones, and we did this time elapse of a tree with bird feeder and thought it really looked pretty, and so decided to put it to this song, which I think turned out great.
Yeah, I think it's 13 hours of time elapse. So you get like the full sunrise, and once the shadow comes over the tree and the bird feeder, and you kind of see a very diverse group of birds that come to that tree stand because we never really paid attention to it. So, but it's a soothing song, and the video is kind of like satisfying to watch. It's just kind of a nice visual behind it.
This is Fresh Breath with Make It Together on the COVID times edition of the Sun Parlour Coffee House Sessions.
What if one day everything you knew just changed? just this time. Life's what you make of it, then let's make it together. No use making sense of it, hard to predict, just like the weather. If life's what you make of it, then let's make it together. No use making sense of it, hard to predict, just like the weather. What if one day everything that remains were just the little things in life, all to necessitate? Wouldn't make you happy? Oh, and oh, would it treat you right? Or would you be wishing for another life? If life's what you make of it, then let's make it together. No use making sense of it, hard to predict, just like the weather. If life's what you make of it, then let's make it together. No use making sense of it, hard to predict, just like the weather. You bend and squeeze to drink your mind, what sense to be compared to anyway? What if nothing was real at all, just a dream recall? Oh, a dream recall. Oh. If life's what you make of it, then let's make it together. No use making sense of it, hard to predict, just like the weather. If life's what you make of it, then let's make it together. No use making sense of it, hard to predict, just like the weather. What if one day
Sitting here on a Tuesday, sipping whiskey, and I'm thinking about leaving, but I'm taking you with me. I'm gonna leave all these small town problems behind, 'cause I know they're not your fault, and you know they're not mine. Gonna pack up the Chevy and leave it all behind.
take off to the mountains or Caribbean Sea? The only thing that matters is you're there with me. And we've been singing right away for days and days. Let's make it happen, baby. It's time for a change. Yeah. Sitting in the kitchen, thinking about cracking a beer. And I'm getting kind of fed up with all the mindless drama that's here. Gonna leave all these small town problems behind, 'cause I know they're not your fault, and you know they're not mine. Get the Chevy ready, baby, let's leave it all behind.
That's Fresh Breath with Time for a Change, another of the great videos that Josh and Katie Pascoe have put together this summer. They have been making music together for quite a few years. They actually have 2 full releases out. They have Us Against the World, which has the wonderful shibby on the front of it. And then they also have The Big Picture, which is their latest album from 2019. Time for Change is an interesting song because that was you getting back out on the road. I loved it where you were filling up the Chevy van, because I think you have started to try and explore things, haven't you, Josh and Katie?
Yeah, we're things are starting to open up a bit. There's like, in a weird way, we're lucky to be like mid-level band at this point, where we're not filling stadiums, and because it's just not happening. So the smaller venues are starting to open up. The tail end of summer here, the weather's still beautiful, and so we're able to play some outdoor events. And yeah, it's just kind of funny, the timeline of these singles coming out, because like we said, we had them written and we were recorded and ready to put out this year. And then as the time went on, even the namesake of each song kind of fit with what we were doing. Like Time for a Change, we've all been locked up for so long, and we're just ready to burst forth, and just ready to get going and get out on the road. Mm-hmm. So it's just funny how the timeline kind of came together for them.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things nice about the whole thing is I love the way that, you have the video with the song, because one of the neat things that video does, especially when you do video like you do, where you're, videotaping yourselves on your farm and around the house, is you get to know the artist much more. And again, I love the way that you weave the road trip through some of the scenes from different places you've been. Really, creates that great connection. I mentioned before 2 albums that you've produced since you became a duo. Are you going to put out another album? I mean, some of the songs that we've been showcasing today, will they end up on the next album that Fresh Breath produces, or are you going to keep going with this single style?
We're still really not sure. I mean, we're writing a lot still. We have a lot of new songs since March. We've been home, so we've been writing a lot of new songs, and we've been discussing possibly maybe an EP or another album for 2021. For sure. I don't know if these songs specifically will be on it or if we'll have all new songs. We'll see what happens. But yeah, we're open to ideas, and we're still kind of figuring out what we want to do at this point.
Yeah, I think we've got enough songs written probably for a whole new album, but it's just a matter of I don't know, pulling the trigger on what we want to do. It's a tough call these days with the money invested into physical products, especially when you can't tour, because that's when you're unloading all of your merch. So it's just a fine line. We know we're definitely going to be releasing new music come the spring of next year. We've got plans to get back in the studio, and like I said, lots of songs written. So there's definitely going to be new music from us coming. We have a Christmas song actually coming out. So that's a whole nother topic we don't need to get into, but it's a fun kind of sing-along song. But yeah, there's definitely going to be new music coming out just about constantly from us, I think, just to make sure we're staying relevant, engaging with fans, and honing the craft.
We can't help ourselves. We're just constantly creating and putting, we just love it so much. So it's just something we need to do.
Well, your energy is so contagious. It makes me just feel good to, not just to listen to your music, watch the videos, but, chatting here today as well. It, really brings through that connection. So again, kudos for you for all of the great stuff you've been doing this year. We're going to squeeze one more song in before we wrap up this special sessions today. That's the latest single, Likes and Shares, which is kind of interesting because it has a bit of a social media feel to it. I'm going to give you a chance just to tell us why you wanted to write this song.
I guess I'll take that. I penned the song, I wrote it, and then Katie and I and Brett Humber, actually, who's credited as a songwriter on the composition, because we all sat in a room and really pieced it together. We wanted to make it real pleasing to the ear, but it's also kind of like a protest song, I guess. It's just like a reminder to live in the moment, because it was inspired by a gig we were playing. It was a small venue. It was very intimate. It was a very just quiet crowd. And we started playing a song. I forget what song it was, but I saw someone grab their phone and was like visibly excited about what we were doing, right? And grabbed their phone, shot a quick video of us, and then you could see the hashtagging it out or whatever they were doing. And then they put their phone down, and I'm like, oh, cool. Somebody's enjoying this, what we're doing. And then at the end of the song, it was like nothing had happened. You know, like we weren't even there. There was no applause, didn't look over. And I was just like, nobody cares. It's all about the likes and the shares. And I'm like, that's a good line. So like, as soon as I got home, I put the song, penned the song, and I sang it for Katie. And she's just like, ooh, we got to release that as a single. I like it. And it kind of rubs people the wrong way, but in a good way. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not above that. I don't think anybody is. Everybody's looking at their phones. We're on a phone right now. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just like, we're trying to be that gentle reminder to, like, if you're at a concert, put your phone away. You know what I mean? Like, live in the moment. Like, you paid for the ticket. Not everybody else did. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of, I don't know, just living in the moment.
Yeah. I mean, there's no denying that social media and, you know, these new tech devices are amazing to connect and stay connected, especially during COVID and during something like this where we're all kind of separated. I mean, obviously that's great, and everything's great in moderation, right? But I just feel like, you know, there's these times in our lives lately where it feels like everything is just all about, you know, TikTok or Facebook or these social platforms. They're all kind of similar in the way where they kind of take your attention away from what's really going on. And so that was really what we wanted to shine a light on with this song. Obviously we use all of those platforms as a band. You kind of have to, and they're a great tool. But it's just a little bit of a reminder to kind of, you know, use it as a tool and not as your reality.
It's an excellent song and a great video. And, you know, and interestingly, I know we're not just going to talk about the likes and shares, but I was checking out the stats on YouTube, and it's doing very well on YouTube too. I mean, people are connecting though. You know, it's almost like it's better when not just likes and shares, but you're actually getting comments from people. And I think that's when it works. And I do notice that people are connecting with this song. I wanted to thank you both for spending the time with us today. Strange Sun Parlour Coffee House Sessions, COVID Times edition with Josh and Katie Pascoe. This is Josh and Katie Pascoe as Fresh Breath with likes and shares. Stay safe and well, everyone. I'm Jan Hall from Folk Roots Radio. We'll see you next time. And thanks, guys. It's always a pleasure.
Thanks so much for having us.
Hard to write it anymore. Seems as though it's all been done before. The chords have all been used, the audience abused. It doesn't matter which station you choose. So I ask of you a favor today. Won't you lend me your ears? Perhaps you'll stay and take a listen to where I think we all went wrong. And maybe I'll have my first hit song. I think we need to shut that book of face. Instantly, Insta is erased. A tweet, your president's rents are gone. And we can finally try to get along. But our population is addicted to the screen. Why don't you take a second to look up at me? Or take a look around and see who's on their phones. Live in the moment before it's gone. Cause you might be listening to the next hit song, but
nobody
nobody really cares. And nobody really sees.